Just, if you can, great. Just could you remind us, that's where we lost you, and remind our viewers about this very long, drawn-out case and exactly what Navalny was sentenced of? If you can just remind us.
Well, Alexei Navalny is known initially for his anti-corruption online projects, and the irony of this whole story is that he was found guilty of organizing a criminal scheme to steal around $500,000 worth of timber from a state company. The court found out that it was done through this company, which was headed by another person, Pyotr Officerov, who was given a 4-year jail sentence. Navalny was given 5, while the maximum jail sentence for such a crime is 10 years behind bars. However, the latest development concerning the verdict itself is that the prosecutor's office has filed an appeal against Navalny's arrest right after the verdict was announced because it actually comes into force illegally in 10 days. This is the same time that Navalny and his defense have to appeal the verdict, and since he was arrested right there and cuffed in the courthouse and taken by the police, the prosecutor's office has now filed an appeal against that. So theoretically it is possible that the opposition blogger may be released until the verdict comes into force officially. So this story is still developing. The people here, you can probably hear, are chanting freedom and freedom to Alexei Navalny. Once again, this rally was not authorized, but nevertheless, thousands came here in Moscow. We've heard that around 10 people have been detained so far, and some other detentions were made in St. Petersburg, since other rallies are also taking place in over 20 other cities across the country.
Now, of course, at one point he said at some time in the future he would like to run for president. More immediately, he was running for the post of mayor of Moscow. What's this verdict now going to do to that? I guess he has to withdraw, yeah?
Well, absolutely. Navalny was planning to run for mayor at the upcoming mayor's election in Moscow this fall. Earlier, he did also say that he saw it as a possibility that he could potentially run for president when the time comes. But the thing is, legally, if his lawyers fail with the appeal against the verdict, then this would be basically a cross on his future political career. Now, Navalny himself is a very controversial figure. Like I said, he made his first supporters through his online anti-corruption projects, but he gained the majority of his population during the wave of mass protests 2 years ago following the parliamentary election in Russia. This is when he truly became one of the leaders of the opposition, despite his open sympathy to the nationalists, and despite the fact that the whole opposition movement in Russia is still not united. Clearly, he's still one of its leaders. And while the people are still standing here, I don't really know how long this is going to last, since once again this wasn't authorized. So we'll keep you posted with the events unfolding here in central Moscow.
Just before you go, and you say you don't know how long it's going to last, again describing to our viewers, if you hold something like this in Moscow, you normally need a license, a permit to do it. You have to start and stop on time, otherwise the police come along. It's Russia, it's the center of Moscow, they have to clear the streets, I guess they say. Is that likely to happen imminently?
I'm sorry, Kevin, can you repeat that last question, please?
Is there a likelihood that the police imminently will come in, Igor, and clear that to keep the public right away in downtown Moscow, the very heart of it, because this isn't a sanctioned rally?
Okay, yes, I see what you're saying. Well, this is what is so far been quite surprising, since usually when rallies are unauthorized, and especially when these very important roads of the city are involved, especially at the peak of the evening rush hour, then police do usually intervene. But what we're seeing here now, and this has been happening for the past few hours now, is that sure, there's lots of police, but they are really standing here and preventing people from blocking the road. And there have been several attempts to do that, perhaps provocations which could lead to possible detentions in the future. But so far we've seen almost none of that, or the 10 people that have been detained reportedly.
Okay, Igor, thanks for that. We'll be coming back to you throughout the course of the evening for more. We've got a line